As he grew up, Shawn Johnston saw his father's rage crush anyone who crossed him, including Shawn.
My father was a biker. He was also somebody who'd fight 4 to 5 guys at a time and win. He was a pretty rough dude. If I stepped out of line, I got hit. It was a bad scene, and a lot of screaming and stuff. He would say things, you know, like call me names, thinking that would provoke me to, you know, work harder. And what it actually did, it made me insecure. And so I always was trying to prove myself, you know, and I was always trying to live up to my father.
At a summer camp, he learned that God loved him, but by his teens and 20s, sex and drugs took over his life.
My mother kicked my father out of the house, and after that, I was free to do what I wanted to do. And when I started hanging out with some people that got high, I started getting high. Even as a young kid, there was always a search and trying to fill this emptiness that just wasn't getting filled. And I thought I could get it filled through sex, maybe I'd get rich through some money.
He discovered he was an excellent dancer and used his talent to get women.
My thing that I was addicted to was sex. So when I got in the Navy and I started going to clubs, everything I was focused on was just how many women I could get. Just needed to get more. More and more and more and more. Basically, I wasn't satisfied with my life, trying to always look for something new. I was getting emptier and emptier, was really what was going on.
He dedicated himself to Eastern religions in a search for meaning in his life.
I got into Ekankar, Hinduism. I believed that the Bible was for people who maybe didn't have a high IQ. It was a good thing, you know, but, you know, I was far more advanced believing into this other stuff, you know.
After Shawn was discharged from the Navy, he was in debt, living with his grandmother, and felt like he was going nowhere. He was arrested for failing to pay delinquent traffic tickets and faced the possibility of jail time.
And it all culminated to, all right, God, I give up. I quit trying to do things my way because nothing was working. So this is what's going on. I need Jesus. He's the only one that's going to fill this emptiness. I knew that he was my friend. After all those years, I knew that God was my friend. You've always been there. You always helped me out. You knew I was going to turn around and stab you in the back, but you still was you've been my only friend. I said, from here on out, I'm your friend.
Shawn gave his life to Jesus Christ and renounced his ties to Eastern religions.
Jesus is the only one who died for my sins. If I go to Buddha's grave, I'm going to find Buddha. If I go to Confucius' grave, I'm going to find Confucius. If I go to any one of these other religious leaders, I'm going to find him in the grave. You ain't going to find Jesus in the grave. He paid for the sin. He takes you as you are. He comes in and he makes you better. He grows you into somebody to be Christ-like.
Immediately, he knew something had changed.
The emptiness was gone. I've been trying to get rid of that feeling for a long time. My soul was filled and my spirit was satisfied. I know what I know. I've experienced Jesus Christ. The only possible way that you can experience it is by taking a taste. See that the Lord is good.
For 4 years, Shawn committed himself to abstinence, then married Lauren and started a family.
I have purpose in life. Where I was empty, I was going nowhere. Now I know what purpose, what God has made us all to be, was to have a relationship with Him and also have a relationship with each other.
Shawn shared the love of God that changed his life with his father 2 months before he died.
We said the prayer, and all of a sudden he sat up. There was the light on his face, the countenance on his face was like wham, you know, like that. And the Lord touched him. God restored my relationship with my dad. And I know he's in heaven. You know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, I know it's blowing his mind he's in there.
After a lifetime of trying to fill the emptiness, he found that the love of God is enough.
Do you want to stand before God and say, I know your son died for me, but it wasn't enough? Oh, it was enough. I wouldn't want to tell any father who sacrificed their son it wasn't enough. God can save anybody. Don't matter what you've done. Don't matter how bad you did or how much of it you've done. Jesus' blood is enough.